It was my husband Andrew's 34th birthday, a day I had been planning for weeks, filled with balloons, cake, and love. We lived in suburban Texas, and I wanted to surprise him with a private dinner at home. But that evening, Andrew gave me a shocking surprise instead. Surrounded by his 5 closest friends, Jason, Matt, Chris, Tyler, and Logan, he pulled me aside into the kitchen and whispered something that made my heart race. "Babe, tonight I want something different. I want my birthday to be unforgettable. I want us all to be in the same room." I was frozen, confused, and unsure if he was serious. The request was bold and unexpected, but his eyes were filled with innocence and affection, not force. That night I agreed to something I never imagined, not out of fear, but out of deep trust in the strange intensity of our bond. The 6 of them didn't cross any disrespectful lines. Instead, they stayed in my room. We talked, we laughed, we reminisced about old times. Each of them shared how my husband had helped them through life's darkest moments. It became an emotional night filled with human connection, stories, tears, and warmth. By the end of it, I realized my husband's strange request wasn't about romance. It was about unity. His friends were like brothers, and he wanted to celebrate life, not lust. That night changed the way I saw love. Sometimes what shocks us in the beginning becomes a story of connection we never forget. That night after Andrew's birthday gathering, I couldn't sleep. I lay on the bed staring at the ceiling, my mind still replaying everything his strange but deeply emotional request, the way his friends sat with us in our bedroom sharing memories, tears, and laughter. It wasn't normal, but something about it touched my heart. The next morning Andrew held me close, kissed my forehead, and said, "You gave me the best gift last night, just being open, just trusting me." Days passed, but something had shifted. I noticed Andrew becoming more distant, quiet, thoughtful. He'd go outside in the middle of the night to take long calls, whispering things I couldn't hear. Suspicion started creeping in. Were those friends hiding something? Was there more behind his request? One afternoon I followed Andrew quietly, my heart pounding, as I watched him meet Logan near the lakeside cabin they used to party in during college. I hid behind the trees. What I heard shook me. She can't know the truth about that night. Not yet. My knees went weak. What truth that night? I couldn't hold it in. I confronted Andrew, tears in my eyes. He froze. Then slowly, painfully, he began revealing something I never expected. That night wasn't just about bonding. It was their way of making peace with the past. 10 years ago, on Andrew's birthday, his 6th friend Brian had gone missing after a tragic accident during a late-night drive. His friends always felt guilty. They blamed themselves for leaving him behind during a storm. They believed the room, the laughter, the togetherness. They thought it might bring closure, as if Brian's spirit was with us, forgiving them. The emotional weight crushed me, but also explained everything. Andrew had been holding this guilt for years. I hugged him tightly, whispering, "You don't have to carry this alone anymore." He cried into my chest for the first time in our marriage. The next morning I invited all 5 of them back and asked them to share the full story. We lit candles for Brian, told stories, and held each other like a family healing from deep wounds. But just when we thought the past was behind us, my phone buzzed. An anonymous message. It said, "You think Brian is dead." "He's not." My fingers trembled. I looked at Andrew. He turned pale. This can't be true. The suspense returned. Was Brian still alive? If so, where had he been all these years? Why the message now, after that emotional night, and who sent it? The answers lay buried in the past they thought was over. But love, guilt, and truth were about to pull them all into a mystery they never expected, and I was now right in the center of it. The anonymous message haunted me. "You think Brian is dead." "He's not." My hands trembled as I showed the message to Andrew. His face went ghostly white. He stared at the screen like it was a ghost itself. "It's not possible," he whispered. "We searched everywhere for him that night. The storm, the river. We thought he was gone." The next few days were like walking through a fog of fear and confusion. Andrew and his friends tried to trace the number, but it was unlisted, bouncing from unknown IPs. Then, on a quiet Wednesday evening, a letter arrived at our doorstep. No return address. Inside was a photo, old but clear. It was Brian, older, bearded, standing in front of a rustic wooden cabin, with today's date written on the back. "He's alive, Andrew whispered again, this time with disbelief and a strange glimmer of hope. We drove 6 hours north to the coordinates written on the note, deep into the forests of Oregon. The air was cold and the silence was heavy. As we approached the cabin, the door creaked open and there he was, Brian, alive. His eyes met Andrew's, and the room fell silent. He looked hurt, older, and guarded. Why didn't you come back? Andrew choked out. Brian took a deep breath. I didn't die that night. I ran. I was ashamed. I was drunk. I crashed, crawled out of the wreckage. And when no one came for hours, I thought you all left me. I felt betrayed. Tears streamed down Andrew's face as he stepped forward. We never stopped looking. Brian, we thought you were gone. We held funerals. We cried for you. The reunion was filled with raw emotion, forgiveness, and questions. Brian revealed he had spent years off the grid, surviving with help from an old recluse who found him near the river. He was afraid to return until he saw our gathering online a birthday photo Andrew had posted and realized maybe it was time to come home. That night, the 6 friends sat around a fire again, with me by Andrew's side. They talked, healed, and for the first time in a decade, smiled together without the weight of guilt. As the fire crackled, Brian looked at me and said, "Thank you. If it weren't for you, this reunion wouldn't have happened. You are the heart in the middle of all this." Andrew pulled me into his arms and whispered, "You didn't just say yes to a crazy birthday night. You helped me fix my soul." That night we slept in the cabin under the stars. No more secrets. No more ghosts. Just love, healing, and a bond that had been lost but found.